Hey guys, Kumon special once again. In the car, I am just going to show you where I like to put contour, because I feel like that's the one, I could lob one color all over my face, but contouring was definitely new to me when I found Seint, but it's such a game changer, and I'm just going to show you where to put it on your own face. It'll be nice and quick and simple, and I'm going to show you the brushes that I like to use. I had a full work day, and last week I did end up getting my eyes checked, and it turns out they are worse. So what do you know? So I ordered some more glasses from one of my cheap glasses sites, but because I'm still single vision. She said, you're close to needing the bifocals, but not quite yet. So I like to use the smudge brush for contour. I really, really do. I have a tiny bit of Seint everywhere, like my main highlight, my brightening highlight. But I want to focus on contour today and why I like to use the smudge and the blush and bronzer brush. So I'm going into Astoria. That's my favorite contour for myself. It is considered a cooler contour. I am more cool toned, so I like that. Excuse me. I also like ash for myself. If you're warmer, you probably have olive, indigo, stone. Those are warmer contour shades. Cedar. And then we have our new ones out too, where auburn's more warm for sure, but it's kind of a mix. And then we have velvet, which is a darker, cool contour. So if you need help figuring out which contour you'd like to try, you can always reach out to me. I love to help with that. I also attached the Seint color match quiz to this post, because sometimes it's just interesting if Seint would recommend something else for you based on the people of skin tone you select that look most like you. Usually you can get away with using 1 or 2 shades of our contour colors. So what I did here is I follow my landmarks. So top of ear to outer corner of eye. Just kind of down, and I'm going to my nose because I have a long face, so I want to make it look a little wider. So I'm taking top of ear to corner of my nose. That's my goal. Now, if you have a more round face and you'd like to thin, make your angle towards the corner of your mouth. Make it more dramatic, and that will make your face a little bit more elongated. So same thing over here. I never could really feel a cheekbone when people are like, put it under your cheekbone. So I really like going off of top of ear to outer corner of eye. And it also, if you follow that, it is a little higher than your natural cheekbone. And that's what we want, because we want to lift the face with the contour. Contour is like Spanx for deface. And it just is a nice little lift. So now I'm going to go temple to temple, just right along my hairline. I actually don't like using the smudge brush for this because it is so precise that sometimes it's a little harder to blend. So if I could do it over, I probably would just take my blush and bronzer brush, squeeze this end together, and go temple to temple along my forehead. But now for the nose, which mine is looking a little... I like to use the smudge because this gives us more precision. And we're following that eyebrow line down the nose. That's all we do. Okay, and it looks scary and a little rough to start, but I promise if I can do this, you can do this. Okay, and I actually avoided this for I think the first 6 months of using Seint because I was like, I'm for sure going to mess this up. But you really, really can't. So I encourage you to try this, even if you have a cute little button nose. This is kind of cool to do and to see what you can do with the right tools. So the smudge brush, just following that eyebrow line down the nose. And you see how it already makes my nose look a little thinner. Now I kind of look long in the nose. I think so anyway. So I like to kind of cut it off right at the tip. And then I just hit right here to kind of close it off. A little bit of contour. Who would have thunk it? And then I like to put a little under my lip just to really emphasize that lower lip. I followed Olivia. She's a CRNA, and she's my friend. I've met her at conference a few times, but she always says do that for the juicy lip. If you follow Olivia, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this just helps give you that juicy lower lip, okay? And then the last place I like to put contour is just along this lower jawline. If I'm wearing like a high neck shirt like I am today, I usually skip this step. But if you're getting pictures or anything like that, this step you do not want to skip. It's so important. It really chisels out your face shape. And it kind of shadows. See, I have this turkey neck thing going on. It just kind of shadows all that business down there. So, also this area of our face or neck never gets any sun. So it's usually screaming, I'm not the color of my face. So a little contour down there or bronzer fixes it right up. So these are the areas I like to put bronzer. I'm going to show you a few more that make it just a little fun. Or I mean your contour. You can use your contour as your eyeshadow. You can window wash your contour into the crease of your eye and you're getting a little bit of depth in that eye. And I don't have any eyeshadow on. But you see I have natural color right in that crease. So this contour is just emphasizing that natural bone structure right there. Okay. Another thing you can do is you can kind of line your lips with your liner to give you a more defined lip. With your contour. I keep saying a different word, but I'm talking about contour here, okay? Don't let me confuse you. So now I'm just going to blend it out. This is the only brush I like to use for blending, and the only brush I like to use for bronzer. It's probably my favorite Seint brush if I really had to choose one. I'm going to start with my forehead contour, so I just kind of, I don't know, brush it back and forth. You could brush it into your hairline. I do find if I have blonde highlights, I can see if I've brushed it back. So kind of doing small circles or just going up and down motion across really helps, especially if you have blonde highlights. And then for the nose, we just kind of buff along the nose line. You can buff this pretty much away. If you really want to keep the contour lines present, like you see, I just kind of buffed it out. Use a perfector sponge. Hi, Stella. The perfector sponge helps keep those lines even more than just a brush, okay? So if you're going out or you want your makeup to be, you know, on point, not just for every day, blend those nose contour lines out with a perfector. They will stay and last all day. And then you see my glasses lines pulling through here. But the Lord knows I need them because I just got my eyes checked and they're worse. So for the cheekbone contour, this is fun, but important. You always want to flick up and back with the cheekbone contour because we want to lift our face. If you are blending like big circles, you're going to drag that down and drag your face down. So there is no rules in makeup. Don't let anybody tell you there is. But this one little tip for Seint is key. Lift up and back with your cheekbone contour. It's going to lift your face, not drag it down, especially if you're over 40. So just lifty, Rooney, that cheekbone contour up. And then I already brushed this back because I always forget about something that I can't see. So just make sure you get that jaw contour. But that is where I like to contour. And my tools are the smudge brush and the blush and bronzer brush. I love what contour does to the face. It gives me a cheekbone. It gives me a little thinnage of the nose. Gives me that juicy lip. Shortens my forehead just a hair. And anybody can do it. Just follow your own landmarks and you can nail it and do it every time. So the brushes I used are the smudge and the blush and bronzer. And then I use good old Astoria. But usually 2 different contours will work for you. I have good old Huckleberry on my lips. She's been in my palette as a staple and she's just so good. And she's still available. So if you have any questions about contour or you'd like to try a different one but would like my opinion, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love to help with this. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday evening. The weekend is just about here.